Chania High School old students have launched an Alumni Association that draws its membership from both Chania boys and girls high schools. The Chania High School Alumni Association is the first alumni association since the school was opened in 1958. During the launch, Chairman Mr. Juma Hemedi said that the old boys and girls will soon roll out an elaborate program to support the schools in infrastructural developments and raising fees for needy students. He added that they would play a very critical role in networking and linking the schools to organizations that would help them in achieving these goals. He called on other Chania old students to join the association in order to lend a hand in the growth of the schools that molded them into what they are today.
I was here in this school roughly about 25, 26 years ago. In 1997 is when I left this school. Today, 10th of June 2023, the year of our Lord, we have a patron who is a former alumni here, and his story is very, very good. It's not mine to tell. Mr. Bimal, today we are here to launch the association officially, to give impetus to every one of the students that have passed through Chania, that have come through this school, that have been molded from this school, to be able to connect with their school, as well as participate in the governance and development of the entire institution. The school was established in 1958, and we are 65 years late to come up with this association. We have a lot of programs that we have set out. There is a Harambee for the school that is coming up. The school has been facing a lot of infrastructure challenges, and these challenges have necessitated some of them to study in tents, and for some classes to be converted into dormitories. And we are at the center of assisting the institution to be able to set up this infrastructure. We will be rolling programs that are connected to support on infrastructure. We will also be rolling programs in connection with scholarships and assisting the needy students who face challenges in school fees. We don't just want to do it within high school, but we also want to go beyond to the technical, to the university, and to help every one of the students that come from this school and is facing some challenges to be able to meet their goals. In addition to that, the alumni will also play a very, very critical role. A critical role of networking, a critical role of initiating partnerships, and a critical role of initiating collaborations with institutions and with others in here. We have a lot of people who have come from Chania who are holding very, very senior positions either in government or in the private sector, and others in the civil society organizations. We want to bring all these resources and all these people, all of them in one association, to be able to channel and collect our strength to support this institution and to also support each other in the journey of life and in the journey of partnership. We do have people who studied when it was mixed and were privileged to cross over when the classes were separated, and also when it went to girls. This alumni association is going to encompass everyone, and it is touching both boys and girls. The programs that we are going to be doing here on the boys' side, we are going to duplicate that on the girls' side too. And this growth is going to be felt in both schools concurrently. So we are calling upon all of them, and we are also calling upon the other schools that may not have started or come up with their associations yet, that this is the way to go. This is how you can be able to bring collectively everyone that has a stake in the school to come and support the school. So we are calling upon every one of them to be able to take this challenge and to move on with it.
The principals of Chania Boys and Chania Girls High Schools raised concern over the high numbers of students dropping out of school for the lack of school fees and called on the alumni to help start an education kitty to support needy students in bursaries so as to help them complete secondary school education without any challenges. The two principals said that their schools were strained in terms of infrastructure, especially after the government's directive to have 100% primary to secondary school transition, where some students were being forced to learn under tents. Chief Principal Chania Boys High School James Gay Tao said that he was also facing a big challenge in dormitories where students were forced to share the limited spaces available. He added that they were planning a major funds drive in August this year to put up a 50 million shillings project to decongest the dormitories. His counterpart in the girls' school, Madam Mary Muwangi, hailed the initiative to form the Chania High School Alumni Association, saying that it will go a long way in supplementing the government's and parents' efforts in solving some of the challenges they faced as a school.
James Gitau, I'm currently the chief principal of Chania High School. We have a few issues and we have shared with some of them, like the issue of infrastructure because of the 100% transition from primary to secondary school. Right now we are quite congested, especially beginning of this year. In fact, in January when we admitted the Form 1s, some of the boys had to run in tents, 5 classes. 240 boys were running in tents because of the issue of congestion. There is congestion in the dormitory. Right now we have an ongoing project for the dormitory and it is going to cost around 50 million. The parents have done their part. For this year they have supported the school, so we need to decongest the dormitories. We need to build bigger classes because the classes that were built long ago were quite small. They could only accommodate 25 to 30 students. Nowadays the classes are containing 45 to even 60. The other challenge, as you can see, Chania High School is right in town, and we have some porous borders. We would want to have a fence, a perimeter wall fence, so that we are contained, and so that there are no people who will be coming and encroach into the school. We would want to start a bursary kitty, Chania High School kitty for the needy. This is because quite a number of students are admitted in the school from very, very needy backgrounds. And we would want to have an annual fundraiser or an annual walk whereby we shall have a kitty to cater for the students so that any student who is actually admitted in Chania High School completes Form 4 irrespective of whether that child has parents or the parents are poor or not. We have one alumni association. We want to be as inclusive as possible. We shall have one strong alumni for the two schools, so that when it is time to support Chania boys, all of us come together and support Chania boys. When it is time to support Chania girls, all of us come together to support Chania girls. So we are one. We are one.
It's Mary Mwangi, the chief principal Chania girls. Today is a great day for the Chanians, that is Chania boys and Chania girls, because it's a day that we are launching the alumni. Both the Chanias, we have a great challenge. The challenge after the 100% transition, we find that we have a challenge in the infrastructure. Like now in the girls' side, and which is also happening in the boys' side, we have about 4 of, not about, but really 4 Form 1 classes. Teaching and learning is taking place under the tents. So we have the challenge of the infrastructure, and we want to believe that the alumni will come handy in the same. The other challenge is the challenge of the school fees. You find that the cow comes in schools, and then maybe the parent is able to pay for some time, and then ameshindwa kabisa. So we find that we really feel that's not what you'd wish. We'd want that once a girl comes to our school, the girl finish with us. That up to Form 4, she's with that up to Form 4. But then we find that along the way, they drop out some of them.
Bimal Shah of Broadway Bakery was appointed the Pioneer Association patron. Mr. Bimal, who is an old student of the school, promised to support the two schools in areas of need and in the various projects being initiated. Ashok Shah of APA Insurance Kenya promised to support the two schools in students' scholarships, in internships, and in mentoring these students in career choice and development.
Good afternoon. My name is Bimal Shah, Chania alumni, which was registered in April 2023, has bestowed on me the first position of Pioneer Patron. I humbly accept this position, being an ex-student of Chania High. I finished my O-levels in 1974, so it's only about 48 years since I left the school. Alumni associations are very important. I also feel that as an old student, I also want to contribute towards improving the education standards of Chania High School. We should, as an alumni, try and start a scholarship program for our students who have done well, so that we can support them in their future education, whether it is in Kenya or whether it is sending them overseas. And I think it's very important as Kenyans and as alumni to start something like this so that we can support our young students from Chania High School and of course from also other schools who unfortunately cannot, because of the condition of the family, cannot access education. And as we know that good education is a right for every person, and it is only us where we should make it possible for them to continue their education.
I'm Ashok Shah. I'm the Group CEO of APA Apollo, and I'm proud to be an old student of Chania High School. In fact, my association with Chania High School goes back when the school was first founded. I came in as the second year of the founding of the school. But there is another program that we do attachments for school children, and these are for secondary school children. So what we can do is that we can bring some of them into our organization to learn how a corporate works. What are the things that they'll be required to, and to see if they will understand the different parts of our business: insurance, finance, asset management. If from there they can then develop an interest, and when they go to university, they have a good idea of some of the things that they can do to further their career, to qualify and further their career. We can look at, we can see how we can support Chania High School, because we've been told that there is need. There are students who actually cannot afford fees. So we can look at different qualifications and different support we can give them. So it's something that obviously what we want to make sure is that children get good education, good grounding, and if the ability is not able to pay for their fees, then what we can do is we can come and support.